LV back with another installment of
Did they do you dirty or not?
Did They Do You Dirty or Not? It is where fans of my channel send me their cards they felt were undergraded, and I will give my honest, humble opinion whether PSA got the grades correct or if they did you dirty. Today, a nice supporter of my channel sent me 4 of his cards he felt were undergraded. Looks like there's 3 8s and 1 7, so not too severely undergraded, but I still think it's worth looking at and learning because we all get a lot of 8s that we think should be at least 9s or 10s. So let's just go to the overhead camera and bust into these. All right, first up we have a Michael Jordan card. This looks like it's actually a label error. This should be the 1994-95 reprint of the 92 Upper Deck. You can tell by the He's Back, March 19th, 1995. All right, it was designated as an 8. Let's see if they did you dirty. So I usually look at centering first and then corners and go from there, and then surface. So left to right is okay. There's no problem here. A little bit thinner on the left than the right, but it looks like 55-45 to me. Top to bottom, maybe a little thicker than the bottom, a little thinner down here. Still within at least a mid-9 range. I'm not too worried about that. It's not the culprit. So let's go ahead and look at the corners and go from there. Corners look pretty good. Maybe a little pinch on that left corner. And that corner looks okay. So I don't think the problem is the corner. Let's look at the surface closely. I see maybe like 4 or 5 little dots just above the L. That'll hurt it a little bit. I see some indents along this right edge. That one's pretty significant. That's enough alone to get you an 8, if you guys can see that. Yeah, right there. And then the other aspects of the centering the surface looks pretty good. So far, I think it is already an 8. So we'll flip it over on the back. And the back centering is off a little top to bottom. Thinner on the bottom, obviously, but let's look at the corners. The corners look okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing much. Let's look at the surface. And the hologram's nice and full. Surface looks good. So the back is a little edge wear on the top, but nothing that'll bring you down lower than an 8 already. So I think PSA nailed it. It actually may have even been an overgrade, but no, I think an 8 is pretty accurate. I think that's the problem right there overall, and those little dots right there. So PSA did not do you dirty on this one, so don't crack it out. Leave it as is, sell it, and move on. Okay, next one. All right, next card. Looks like we have a Zion Williamson rookie. He's with Sir Charles Barkley. So yeah, rookie year 2019. Let's look at the corners and go from there on the front. So we got some foil, but it looks like pretty good quality control. I'm not too worried. The corners look nice and sharp and no white showing on the 2 more difficult corners. Centering, let's go ahead and look at, you're probably going to want to look at this gap, this white portion right here to there, and then here to there. So maybe a little bit thinner on the right than the left, but still within at least mid-9 range. And another good tip is the product logo. That's a good determination of the centering. So here to here and here to here. So it looks okay. I don't think that's the problem. Let's go ahead and check out the surface real quick. I didn't see anything while I was looking at the other stuff, but yeah. So right now, the card looks like at least a mint 9 or better. Possible gem 10 candidate if the back looks great. Let's flip it. And the centering looks okay. Looking at the black right here and the black right there, just off this side, thinner on the right. So you're going to get a lot of embossed kind of indent look, but it's actually just from the design pattern on the front, and that doesn't hurt you. I mean, they all have that, so PSA graders know that. This one looks like it would be an indent, but I bet it's actually from that kind of emboss. Let's flip it over. It'd be like right here. Yeah. So it's right under his armpit, right there, that gap. So that's that right there. So that won't hurt you. Let's look at the corners, because this got a little darker. So I'm looking at a little touch on this top right. There's a touch. And then there's a touch on this bottom left. And yeah, a little touch on this bottom right. Other than that, I'm not seeing much. This just looks like a solid Mint 9 copy to me. I mean, I think the only real issue are the touches of white on the back. Just a few very light ones. Other than that, it looks pretty fresh, pretty clean. So I honestly think this should be a Mint 9. So did they do you dirty? A little bit. Just one grade, though. But still, this isn't a card, especially with Zion Williams market tanking, that you would crack out or anything or resend. So keep it as is, sell it, and just move on, kind of like the next one. But yeah, I think this one should have been a Mint 9. So a 1 grade undergrade on this one. Next one. All right, next up we have a 2008 Topps Hardwood LeBron James. I love collecting his 2000 stuff. 2003 to 2010. So centering. Let's go ahead and do centering first. Top to bottom looks pretty nice, and left to right looks almost 50-50. A little thicker on the left than the right, so that's not the problem. It's definitely well within at least Mint 9 or better range. Let's look at the corners. I mean, it's white corners as long as there's no dings, really. Should be good. Yeah, it's not gonna show wear. So this is on the case, the slab. I'm looking at the surface. I'm not seeing much. No weird indents or anything. So I don't think the problem is on the front, because the front looks like potential 10. So let's go ahead and flip it. So, okay, I see it right away. It's these bottom two, and this is very common for this year of hardwood, because I see it on a lot of the Kevin Love and the Russell Westbrook cards and the D Rose. So top two corners are fine, right? But then you get the darker, and then it's just kind of chewed up a little bit. Yeah, see that? There's no way you could get a 9 with that. And then there's edge wear along there, but that's just too much white showing. So I honestly think an 8 is a pretty generous, and yeah, it could have been even a 7.5. So I think 8's fair. Yeah, definitely don't crack this open. It's definitely an 8 or lower. Make sure I didn't miss any surface issues. I don't think I did. And the back centering looks pretty good too. These two gaps right here. And there you go. I think I know the issue are the bottom two corners in the back. All right, they did not do you dirty. Let's move on. All right, the final card is the Near Mint 7 of the Kendrick Nunn. I'm sorry he didn't quite pan out for you. Let's look at the centering first, and I'm looking at this Illusions logo, and it looks pretty good there compared to there. And top to bottom, the RC logo looks pretty good. So the centering is not the problem. Let's look at the surface and the corners. Honestly, the corners look pretty good. And the surface, that's a good reflection. You're able to see any indents. I'm not seeing much wrong on the front. I really don't. Yeah, I think the front so far looks like a possible 10. At least a 9. So let's flip it. The problem's got to be on the back, unless they did you dirty. So you are sending in a little bit tougher cards, because the back, people always need to know to spend just as much time when pre-submitting, looking over the flaws on the back of the card, because that's where they really knock you down, on the chipping on the back corners. It just gets people all the time. So, and these particular cards you sent in are darker, so it's a little more condition sensitive on the back. These darker corners and edges. So you got a touch of white on this top right, very, very slight touch top left, but then you have bigger ones on this bottom left, and a little touch on this bottom right, but I'm not seeing the 7 yet. Let's look at the surface. I'm not seeing much wrong with the surface. Maybe a little slight indent over here. See that? But that's not going to get you a 7 either. So, and then the edges, always look at the edges. They look pretty good. Maybe a little touches right here. Does this deserve a 7? I'm gonna, I think, officially say no. I think it is an 8, just because of the white touches on the corner. That one's pretty significant, and that one. So it's in between an 8 and a 9 for me. I think they do grade autographs a little bit tougher, and this looks like a little bit thicker cardstock, so slightly. I'm trying to reason it, but I think this should be an 8. Overall, this should be an 8 card or an 8.5. And yeah, I'd say they slightly did you dirty on this one. Maybe a 1 grade undergrade on the Kendrick Nunn, but since he didn't pan out, I would not think about cracking this out. Do not save yourself the money and the headache, and just go ahead and move on from this card, probably. Unless you're a huge Kendrick Nunn fan, keep it in your collection. Okay, there you go. I appreciate everyone watching this installment. Hope you learned a little bit or were entertained by my thoughts, and hope everyone is doing well. And if you have some cards you felt were severely undergraded by some grading companies, then maybe direct message me on Instagram, Little Victory Sports Cards, and all you gotta do is just pay the shipping to me, and I will look them over for free and ship them back for free. Probably a max of 5 cards, though. All right. Hope everyone's well. See you in the next vid.